Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently working on our cleanup. If we take a quick look here, and we might as well have the game ticking forward while we're doing this, we can see we have made significant progress, but we're not done yet. So we're justifying on 3 quote-unquote nations right now. Only one of them, in my opinion, really rises to that level. The others are very small, but we definitely do need to work our way through Europe. I'm currently thinking our path will be like Europe and then Central slash South America over here, then probably Africa, and then we'll finish up at that point with the remainder of Asian locations. There's not all that much here, but there will be a fair amount of justification that has to be happening, which is why we're going to try to keep our justification at about 3 simultaneous justifications at any given time. Now, if we look at our diplomacy, we can see the status of that. We're going to have East Galicia justified in a while, and Mecklenburg is actually a little closer, so there's that, and Mecklenburg-Strelitz is a long ways away, 375 days. So we're going to cruise forward on speed 5, although I'm not convinced that that's actually substantially faster. It's a little bit faster. Heavy on the little bit. It's not very much faster, but that's okay. I was going to say Australia. Austria is one of the few remaining large-ish countries that need to be taken down. Italy is going to be another one. We're probably going to focus on that next after we get these guys taken care of. That's the current thinking, anyway. We'll see how that ends up actually going. Of course, Romania and the Serb bourgeois revolt down here, those are going to need to go, as well as a bunch of random German city-states. So that is a bunch of things that need to end up happening, right? And that's all going to take time. Justification does take a while. Unfortunately, but it's true. I wish at this point they would all just join a faction and fight us. That would be kind of convenient, although it would be a lot of fronts, to be clear. We'd have to clean up a lot of fronts. So it will be cleaner to do it this way, but it will definitely take longer. We'll see how many nations band together and attempt to defeat us, but to be honest, it's too late at this point. They don't really have too much of a chance. So there is that. Let's send these guys over to here. That looks good. And do we want to do any decisions right now? Well, we should probably... Yeah, we should demobilize our economy. I don't think our economy needs to be mobilized for anything else. We can't do it this way, and we wouldn't want to anyway. We want to demobilize our economy that way. It would be cheaper this way anyway. So let's get that done. That'll be reasonably fine. Did we finish our intelligence agency? Yes, we did. Perfect. So that looks good. At this point, we are just waiting on justifications. And that seems reasonably fine. So taking a look at the faction map mode here, I'm wondering if Austria is going to join these guys. Actually, is there another faction? It seems like I saw that there were 3 factions when I first started it up and saw the score screen. Let's see here. Is that up here somewhere? Dismissed alerts? No. Okay. I'm sure it is somewhere. Achievements are not available because we are in a modified game save, of course. But there is definitely... This is the world tension history. I think there's only the 2 factions right now, so the Confederate Asian nations down over here. It's theoretically possible that Austria might seek to join that, I suppose. But I currently believe that to be the only other faction. And it's not much of a faction, to be honest. So we'll see what ends up happening with that, but for now, I mean, these are separate nations. We'll get them taken care of, don't you worry. That will definitely happen. Things are definitely laggier at speed 5, no doubt about that. We've got this Mountaineer division, and that's going to hop in here. But we should be seeing justifications finishing up reasonably soon for specifically Mecklenburg. Okay, still about 100 days out there. Noted. And we're also about 100 days out from finishing up Austria. So these are going to finish at similar times. Not exactly the same time, but very similar times. This is going to be delayed a fair amount. Honestly, Mecklenburg will be conquered by the time this finishes. Austria might be as well. I think that definitely our next move is to go after Italy. Now, keep in mind, Modenan military revolt down here is in our faction. Modena itself is not. So that is definitely awkward. Greece is not within our faction either. So that's all noted. But we have to justify before we can declare war, right? Pretty sure we do. Yes, it's not even in the list. So that, well, actually, this is Bavaria, which is in our faction. But if we went to Austria here, yeah, no war goal to justify a war declaration. So we do have to do that, which is sad, but here we are. I mean, what are we going to do? Lose stability? That is theoretically a thing that could happen, but whatever. Our war support is not great at the time, or rather at the moment, and we are certainly going to see about doing something about that. But all we can do, pretty much, is sit and wait. We're reduced by combat casualties right now, and convoys raided, and there's not much we can do about that. Is this a real infantry division? It is. Okay, so that is going to go here. Sounds good. I'd also like to point out, our allies have dropped nukes, but we have not. We've not needed to drop a single nuke, so that's interesting. No doubt about that. Well, for the time being, let's check in here. So, yeah, that needs about 70 days. And this needs about 60. Yeah, they're going to be about 2 weeks apart, thereabouts. That's okay. So, Austria has this section down over here, right? Is East Sahara in our faction? It is not, so that's going to have to get conquered. Okay, noted. That is absolutely fine. We've got a pretty large list of nations in Africa that need to be taken over. So that's fine. What's our naval situation right now? Okay, everything is in the reserve at this moment. Okay, we're going to group these together. That seems fine. We've got a reasonably powerful navy considering the enemies that we're going to be facing. Austria might have some navy. Let's take a look. What do they have? 154 to 175 ships. Okay, so this is probably, well, we don't need to fight them navally, much like we didn't need to fight the US navally, so it doesn't really matter. The only thing we're really going to be using our navy for from here on out is likely to be making sure that we can get naval invasions off in locations like this. So that would be fine, and in some locations down here, although in most of those cases, in all of those cases, I think. Yeah, there's a crossing here. In all of these cases, I feel like we don't need to do a naval invasion out over here. There's this down here. Okinawa, we might have to take over. Some of these islands out here. Japan, of course, we'll have to do a naval invasion on. There is no crossing here in Hearts of Iron, so that is noted. There is, however, a crossing here. So technically, we don't need a naval invasion here. We would just go through Hokkaido, like our original plan was. We've kind of avoided that plan due to outbreak of World War, but it was okay. We can, of course, return to that. Wow, a free military factory. Okay, well, what do we want to produce with that? Ooh, we have a lot of stockpiled weapons. Okay, that is a lot. No doubt about that. We kind of don't need things, to be honest. We've got a lot of things at this point. Maybe, like, something like this. So we'll work on these carrier naval bombers and carrier fighters. Why not? That'll be fine. This is an armored division, and we're going to send that into the reserves. That seems good. This mountaineer division can go here for now. That looks good. Okay, that's it for now. Excellent. The real question is, how long until we're done justifying here? And the answer is about 10 days for Mecklenburg and about 15 for Austria. So that seems fine. They're going to be about a week apart. Absolutely okay. I don't think Mecklenburg even has an army. So I'm going to tell these lads that their mission is to simply offensive line straight on through and just run them over. That'll be absolutely fine. So let's bring this down to speed 4 at this point so that the game is slightly less laggy. And at this, it's not significantly slower, to be honest. At this point, yeah, we're incredibly close to getting these started. About 4 days, 3 days for Mecklenburg. After Mecklenburg, I think we're going to start justifying on Italy. So that'll be fine. We should wait until it finishes, because otherwise we're going to have a very slow justification on Italy. We'll still have a pretty slow justification on Italy, to be clear. So let's get started on that immediately. That'll take 375 days. Okay, sounds good. Now, we want to immediately declare this war on Mecklenburg. There we go. Hello, pause menu. And Mecklenburg will fall just incredibly fast here. Like, there's nothing they can do. They have no army. Mecklenburg has capitulated. Everybody wants to join the war. Hilarious. Hang on. The dawn of the Baden Concordat. Okay. Who are we at war with, though? We are at war with Baden. Okay, which one of these German city-states is this? That's these guys? We don't appear to actually be at war with them. That's interesting. Let's send our Marines over here for now, and we'll just have them, like, offensive line, something like this. I don't think we're actually in this, though, to be clear. I don't think Baden is in this. This war might end first. Interesting. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. This nation is not in the war, but can be called into it. Why hasn't the war ended? We have no justification here. That's certainly intriguing. Okay. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but we just justified conquering East Galicia. So that, of course, means that we're going to attack Austria. And I'm wondering if Austria is going to join the Baden Alliance and then call in Baden. Maybe. That would be a good thing for us if they did. We're going to immediately declare on Austria. There we go. And I would like to tell our army group here that their goal is to simply offensive line something kind of like that. I don't think there's any fill-in happening from down here, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and tell them to do that. And then these guys, they're going to look to offensive line, like up to this line here, and then maybe like up to this river. Something like that. They can go ahead and execute that. So we're going to launch this attack into Austria, and apparently that's the end of the Mecklenburg War. Okay. So we'll take Mecklenburg, and that's all we need to do. Cool. So next up, that means that Austria has not joined the Baden setup over here, right? We'll see if they do. Who wants to join the faction? Oh, Communist Hesse-Kassel. Fascinating. That's these guys up over here. Yeah, we'll definitely invite them to our faction. Excellent. Who else wants to join? Nobody. Okay, that's fine. So Austria is attempting to hold their border, and it's not going well for them. This is actually going incredibly poorly, which is kind of expected, to be honest. That's apparently a nuke going off. We did not tell it to do that. That was something one of our allies did. Although hang on. We haven't called our allies in. It automatically would have called in our vassal states, though, I think. Yeah, there are a number of these that are automatically in the war without being called in. Okay, that's reasonably fine. So we're just going to push in here. There's another nuke in Vienna. Okay. We are expecting Austria to capitulate quite quickly here, so that's reasonably fine. The question is, how is... Actually, it's this one. How is this justification going to go? Okay, somebody joined as our ally. That's fine. Austria is not going to last too much longer here. We're struggling a bit in the south here, but there's a bunch of nukes going off. And yeah, we're just absolutely pushing in here, and Austria is going to give up quite quickly. There's no way that they're going to be able to keep this up. So that's great. Austria decrypted our ciphers. It really doesn't matter. Are we currently actively attacking Vienna? No, we're very close to it. Now we're actively attacking Vienna. Cool. We actually stack wiped one of their units there through an overtake. Wow, okay. I like it. Austria has called Majertine as our enemy. Okay. Now, these guys are not actually advancing, and they should. Like, get in here. So, who is this? Majertine. Who are you? Where are you? Okay, so that is these guys down here. What is their status? They are a puppet of a foreign power. Okay, that doesn't really matter. They will give up when Austria gives up. So I'm not going to be too concerned about them. I expect Austria to... Yeah, they called Kaffa in as well. That was expected. Let's double check them. Should be pretty much the same situation. Yes, they're a colony of Austria. That's fine. I'm not concerned about that either. As soon as Vienna falls here, we are expecting Austria to capitulate. And when they do... At that point, everyone else should give up too. Yes, I see all these guys trying to join our war. We're not going to allow that for now. We don't need their help. This is completely fine. So Vienna is under attack right now. There's a lot of forces defending it. They called Hesse-Kassel. Hang on. Okay. I feel like that doesn't actually do anything. Which one of these is Hesse-Kassel? There's a lot of them. Okay. I don't think this is actually relevant at all. Yeah, I think they've already fallen? I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, they have already fallen. Okay, sounds good. I don't know why they called them in just to have them instantly capitulate, but whatever. Vienna is about to fall. Like, at this point, Austria doesn't exist anymore, right? It's over. It's super over. Vienna is now encircled. They are stack wiping. It's done. Capitulation will be momentary. I'm surprised they didn't capitulate when Vienna fell, actually. But there they go. Cool. So now we're going to take all their territory, obviously. We're going to prioritize the African territory and then the German territory here. Now, we're going to have to take what we can. So we're going to take East Galicia and everything over here. That leaves us with 31 score. We'll submit those demands. And then we'll take all of this. And yes, I see the Ottoman Empire claiming things there, like a bunch of jerks. And we'll take this state. Cool. And then we'll select all. We'll submit those demands. And we are going to take all of these states as well. We get literally everything here. We'll submit those demands. We'll demand all of these. Submit those demands. And there's still 2 here. Sure. And still Slavonia. The Ottomans are really, really trying to get Slavonia, but they don't get it in the end. We'll confirm an exit, and we get everything there. Perfect. So we can get rid of all of these requests to join wars. We're not at war. So that is absolutely fine. Now, the next question is, what is this icon? Expeditionary Force? Okay, yeah, I don't care about that. And we are going to then send a force up over here to deal with this, right? We're going to have to take that over. That should be no problem whatsoever. I'm going to send these lads up to do that, although that's going to take basically no effort. Okay, so we're going to send them up there. Now, the next target, of course, is going to be Italy, and we're going to work on that. I'm just looking at the way this is laid out with the impassable terrain. It's going to be mildly awkward. No doubt about that. So Baden isn't actually going to be a thing that we're going to fight. I want to have these guys come here. We'll have these guys over here. I guess these guys up over here. So that's going to be 3 armies in total. Sure, we can work with that. So you're going to frontline here. You are going to frontline here. And then you are going to frontline here. Cool. So something along the lines of that. And we'll prepare to take out Italy. Now, all 3 of these are going to have functionally the same offensive line, which is just pushed down to about here. That should cause a capitulation for sure. And then you'll do the same thing from a slightly different angle. And then you are going to do the same thing from a slightly different angle. Excellent. So they'll get started on that as soon as that war is actually declared. Now, how many justifications do we have going on right now? The answer is 2. We should get a 3rd justification here. So let's take a quick look at our factions map mode here. Romania? Why not? We'll go for Romania. So we will begin justification here. That will take 375 days. That is understood. I'm going to have one of these unassigned armies head off over here, and these guys are unassigned as well. They're going to head here as well. And then I guess these guys can go for the Serb Bourgeois revolt. Not that we're necessarily going to be able to fight that. Okay. So that looks reasonably good for now, and the question is, how long is it going to be on these justifications? So we're a ways away on Italy. We are even like 150 days away here. Gross. See, all of these are going to be slow because we're doing 3 simultaneously. We might want to downgrade this to doing 2 simultaneously. Yeah, we might want to. For now, I'm going to leave this, but we're probably only going to do 2 simultaneous justifications in the future. It just feels a little too slow to do 3. So that is fine. We're going to get this taken over quite quickly, and I'd love to give more of these German states membership in our faction. That would be great. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to conquer most of them. So we've got Lübeck out over here. We've got Bremerhaven. Those need to be conquered. For sure. And then we've got this, like, area of city-states in here where there's a number of them that need to be conquered, but there are a number of them that joined our faction. So we'll see what ends up happening with that, with all of these Saxonies over here and all of these Hesses. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to see here. Maybe some of these will be willing to join our faction, but many of them will not. Like these guys, absolutely not. For one thing, they have neutral foreign policy. Well, we'll see how that works for them. Pro tip, not very well. So for now, this infantry division, is this a real infantry division? It is. We're going to put that out over here. Looks good. And I'm just wondering if any of these guys are going to join in the war. That would be great. I suppose what we could do, though, in this meantime, is we could get some infrastructure going in some of our newly conquered territory. I'd be very happy to do that. So let's get that going over here. This doesn't appear to need infrastructure. Is this in the Ottoman Empire over here? Yes, it is. Okay. So up over here, where is the border with the Ottoman Empire? It is here. Noted. It is very laggy to have all of this construction open, but we are making progress through it, for sure. Okay, let's get all of this done. Let's get some civilian factories built if we have access to any. Actually, there are some that we can build here. Cool. So civilian factories will be our top priority to be able to work through these constructions a little bit faster, right? And we'll just queue that up there. Maybe a little bit out over here. Man, that's laggy. Okay. It's all because this list has so much stuff in it, right? We'll work our way through it, but for now, it'll be a little while. Okay, we can also build a factory out over here. Is this... Yeah, this is Liberia. Right, we conquered this from the U.S. Did we build infrastructure here? We did. Okay, just wanted to double check that. Hello. Infrastructure here. Sure, why not? That seems good. Okay, for now, we're going to call that good on the constructions. make things a little bit less laggy. That would be good. And I suppose we may want to think about the supply situation. Oh, it's fine. The supply situation here is reasonably fine. We do maybe need to do some railroad upgrades. So specifically, I'd like to boost up this railway that connects through here. So something like this, and just bring all of that up to level 5. And then connect that up to our main network, which is up here. There's a level 5 connection up this way. So we would just connect that in something like this. That didn't go. There we go. Something like that. And then we would make sure that these hubs are connected as well. So something along the lines of that. Those railways will be done fairly swiftly. That looks reasonably fine. We should be able to get these pretty supplied. We can also motorize these hubs if we really feel like it. Hang on. We absolutely need to make sure that this railway is upgraded. Okay. There we go. Something like that should do for now. Cool. So that looks good. Let's check in on those justifications real quick. Italy has a ways to go. Okay, we still have a ways to go on Mecklenburg as well. Yeah, these are going to take a while. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue our cleanup, and hopefully bringing it down to 2 simultaneous justifications will make things flow a little bit faster. That would be ideal. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.